Welcoming all our viewers on to International Affairs here on a Tuesday. I welcome all the viewers that watch this program and support this program for the long run duration. I want to begin the discussions today, but before I do so, let me introduce the panel here in the studio and across Zoom. In the studio, we have Major Retired Dr. Nasiruddin Ahmed in the studio. He's, of course, a military veteran and an analyst on matters of national and international significance. I welcome you on to the program. Alongside, I will have our geopolitical correspondent, Norman Floyd Barnes, joining us from Washington, District of Columbia. I want to begin with you, Norman. There is some messages that Donald Trump has stated to the international media. He has said that the ceasefire with Iran is on massive life support. He would also claim on to saying that, I quote, "I would say the ceasefire is on massive life support," where the doctor walks in and says, "Sir, your loved one has approximately 1% chance of living." This signals an aggressive stance towards Iran in the coming days. I want to begin with you, Norman. What are the other issues that you have on your desk? Norman.
Good morning here in Washington. Today we start another day with more rhetoric from the president regarding life support, the situation in with the ceasefire. So right now, the president is preparing to travel. Today he's traveling to China to meet with his counterpart over there. They have a summit, and the topic of the summit will be about energy and the situation in the Middle East, particularly the Strait, is going to be one of the topics, but not the main objective. However, unless this topic of the Middle East, particularly the Strait, is resolved, there'll be very little that can move forward as we go through the year. We are now in a situation where we're in an energy crisis because most of the energy that we depend on, the rest of the world, emanates from the Strait of Hormuz. And right now, the United States and Iran cannot come to terms on how to deal with that. Iran has the stranglehold on the safe passage of trade through that area, which is basically an energy hub for the rest of the world. And right now, the cost of everything is going up: fuel, food, water, supplies, medical supplies, technology, equipment, all the necessary things needed by the superpowers to move forward. So the U.S., with its blockade, and Iran with their blockade, is basically chokeholding, holding the rest of the world at bay. And unfortunately, until this is resolved, many of the things that we need to get done globally is not going to come to fruition. We have a situation here. We have a midterms. We talk about the midterms approaching us, but we also have a major event. We have the World Cups coming very soon in June. And these things are not going to do well until this issue with the Strait and the war in Iran is stabilized. The ceasefire right now, as the President Trump is mentioning, is still on, but the situation regarding all of these things that we are talking about, the World Cup, his situation with politics in the United States, the price of energy, particularly in the global South, and the emergence of BRICS, is all causing heartache, panic, stress to the current administration. So right now, the future is unknown until this situation is resolved in the Strait. So we are now approaching another day with no answers, no solutions, and no possibilities of resolving this situation. So again, everybody is waiting on a response, but it appears that there is no response right now until the two parties come together regarding sanctions, the passage of free trade through the strait, and the situation with the nuclear enrichment. So these are the issues that is holding up the rest of the world. Thank you.
Right. Very latest updates coming from Norman Floyd Barnes's desk. I would also like to mention that yesterday, during the running of this program, the Brent crude oil price per barrel was at $104.75. And of course, today it is at 106.43 cents. It is now rising. In the last 24 hours, it has risen over $2, might I say that the comments that were coming from the Iranian parliament speaker Mohammad Bagher Kalibaf, he had said that it is ready to give a memorable lesson to anyone in a stance of aggression towards Iran. Coming to the studio with Dr. Nasser, you were hearing Norman, and as I was telling you, there seems to be the rising of the Brent crude oil price because of the current geopolitical issues in the Middle East. I want to get how you are feeling about it, because if this price keeps continuing to rise, the highest peak that we've seen was $120 somewhere down in the last 70 days. It's still again getting a pace to rising towards that number once more. I also want to get to know from you, Donald Trump is traveling to China to meet his Chinese counterpart President Xi Jinping, all while the BRICS summit is going to be held in New Delhi. So the entire world seems to be in a matter of confusion, to say the least. How do you value this updates?
Okay, thank you very much. And warm greetings to my dear viewers and co-panelists. It's a very right time to say that world must stop this war, because already it has entered to the third month by now, and there was a expectation from the international world community that probably there should be some peace negotiation, and both the sides, I should say, had some confidence that thereby they have exchanged their points, their proposals, and the way Donald Trump has just rejected, he has termed the paper to be a garbage in his statement, and now he is telling that it is in the life support. Nevertheless, his statements was previously that the world is going to see the sad demise of one civilization. That was also his statement.
That was the bottom line that he stated way before the ceasefire.
So whatever he is telling and whatever he is meaning, that makes a lot of differences. But I am quite optimistic once he is visiting China right at this moment. His visit is scheduled on 14th and 15th. And before that, there will be another round of negotiation and meeting with at the foreign ministers level at Seoul. It is scheduled before 14th. That means any time from today
onwards.
Yes. So that will make some sense definitely, because China, it is well understood that Iran officially is not getting support from China directly or military bases or something like that. But the whole world, anyone studying defense mechanism in the world and war scenario can very well understand that how China has taken over this world, keeping silent and sitting at the back of the screen. A very recent example is the use of fiber optics drones by the Hezbollahs.
Right, the FPV drones that Hezbollah has been using to defend off Israel.
Yeah, so that Iran cannot produce it. The Hezbollah itself or Lebanon is not at all in a position even to buy it. So where from they are getting this so sophisticated fiber optics drones, and it can be controlled. That means you see any target, you can control it through fiber optics. So that is how the war is going on with the support of China and Russia. Now Donald Trump is visiting China, and definitely they will have different points of discussion. trade and tariff should be topping the agenda, that is no doubt, but I am sure it will be followed by the crisis in Middle East, in the Middle East world. How Iran can be negotiated with the help of countries like Russia and China. Already probably Iran has some arrangement with China that the uraniums or the whatever is objectionable in the eyes of USA, that will be shifted to Russia and that should be kept under the custody of Russia for some time. Maybe Donald Trump will look for China, because China, for his interest of his business and worldwide strategy, may not be aggressive the way Russia is expected to be aggressive once it is required. So this is one. Another one is that Russia is not trusted that much. Russia may keep the part of uranium in Iran, but officially say we have taken whatever there was given. If 10 is given, they will say we have received 20. So something like that. So Donald Trump probably may make another request to China to get involved with this peace negotiation process. But the way he said that it is garbage, it is in life support, that is not the sayings he said. Very interesting article was published just 2 days back in probably Wall Street Journal, that both the vehicles are heading for head-on collision. One knows if I give some space, maybe I will be criticized that he left the road, or he could do something else. He will be criticized, maybe he will lose his driving license, something like that.
Right.
And another one knows if I go right or left, my own people will kill me. I cannot survive. I cannot go back to my country. So he has only one option going forward. Whether it hits or not, that is not the matter. He cannot go right, left or back. He has to go. That is the scenario depicted by journalists and analysts, that the first driver or the first car is the USA and Donald Trump is the driver. He may go right and left, even that he will survive or he will be criticized. But
right.
In case of Iran, it cannot go right and left, or it cannot go back. Either he has to win or die. So that is the advantage Iran is enjoying at the moment.
Right. Specifically stated by Dr. Nasir regarding the situation between Iran and the United States, a very clear example of how the two sides are now trying to fend off the situation in the economic markets. I want to ask Norman Floyd Barnes, there is an issue that is of high importance to common Americans in the United States. Yesterday, President Donald Trump said that he intends to suspend the federal gas tax amid the soaring prices at the pumps in the U.S. As well. This spike is deepening consumers' pessimism about the economy, adding to Republican concerns about their fate in the coming midterm elections in November. I want to ask Norman Floyd Barnes, this federal gas tax, how important it is, and whether or not the Congress will see to approval this very notion heralded by U.S. President Donald Trump. How do you feel about this? Because this has implications for Americans inside the United States. Norman.
Thank you for the question. The proposed suspension of the gas tax will equate to basically a teaspoon of water thrown into the ocean. It means very little. Symbolic. It means, okay, we're making an effort. It's a feel-good moment for about a second. After that, everything goes back to the same. The prices will not go down. The prices is what the price is for the global market. That is transferred over to the consumer. The consumer will not see any benefits from this. This is more a feel-good notion by the government, used again for propaganda to promote their cause.
Of course, important update coming from Norman Floyd Barnes regarding the local issues there, especially because of gas prices. I want to ask, before I head on to a break, to Dr. Nasir, the stance, the positioning. You should only be in a position where your nation's citizens have enough fuel so that you would conquest or take into a conquest of fuel exporting nations. We of course know that is the Middle East. Some of the grievances that are coming out, it may change the popularity of Donald Trump in the long run. Would you agree as well?
Definitely, definitely. That is and especially once the midterm election is knocking at the door, there is no other option. And I have gone through another journal which clearly says that only option Donald Trump has, or only hope he has at the end of the tunnel, is that reducing the crude oil price near to $50 per barrel. If he can make it before the midterm election, only that he can expect something magical. Otherwise, there is no denying fact that he is going to get the ever lowest possible votes, because his own party is not supporting him. Even yesterday there was huge rally in Israel itself. Two of the leading political parties of Israel, they shook hands together against Netanyahu. Now he has no other way to go. So, and Saudi Arabia has denied that you should not use our airspace or air base. UAE just tried to give some accommodation to the US troops, and they came under fire.
They were battered the most by Iran.
Yeah. So during the ceasefire period. So message is very clear. Either you come to an end or let us work like this. Iran, this there is a famous saying by the late Irani leader Ayatollah Khomeini, the first senior most the religious spiritual leader. He said that you are threatening me that you will be starving or will be out of food and water. You are giving me threat, imposing a war. Don't forget, we are a nation where fasting for 1 month is compulsory for us. So don't give us threat of food or water. We know how to survive without food and water.
Immaculately responded by Dr. Nasir, and very lovely example from the late Khamenei as well. I want to head for a commercial break. Afterwards, we look at several violations that Israel has conducted inside Lebanon and in specific southern Lebanon. Do stay with us as we head for a commercial break. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Panta.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen,
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks,
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
with presidency of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Panta.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen,
really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks,
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
they will face better projects.
With presidency of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
Simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
Opening an open war conflict with them.
Testing nuclear missiles.
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing.
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV.
Welcoming all our viewers back on to International Affairs. We were in discussion of the rhetorics coming out and the narratives coming out between the U.S. leader, U.S. President Donald Trump, and as well as Iranian leadership, the Speaker of the Parliament, Mohammad Ghalibaf, in what the U.S. President Donald Trump says that the chances of coming back to the dialogue table is at 1%, if you would take it out of context. However, I want to focus on Lebanon. There is an interesting news that I should be following up. The UN peacekeeping force in Lebanon, UNIFIL, has recorded an extensive Israeli military activity in the last 3 days. Over 1,296 projectiles were thrown on the side of Israel, whereas 64 trajectories or projectiles are attributed to Hezbollah trying to fire back. Of course, this has taken lives of many, and the active blockading of UNIFIL peacekeepers continue ever since Saturday. An Israeli army tank and bulldozer blocked the way for UN personnel in Sector West from last Saturday. I want to start with Norman Floyd Barnes. Once more, adding on to the fact with common Lebanese people being affected on a daily basis, a news that takes to storm in Bangladeshi media and Bangladeshi consequences as well. We see that 2 Bangladeshis were killed in Israeli drone strike in Lebanon. That is the headline coming from the local daily, the Daily Star here in Bangladesh. I want to get a response from you, Norman. It really has international implications. There is no one in this planet to halt Israel's motivation and intentions towards reaching at a greater Israel. That includes taking over the nation of Lebanon, Syria, and others in the Middle East. This is a very dangerous rhetoric to follow. How far it will allow the nation of Israel to continue before becoming a pariah state, a state within a state was its last title, or how they have shared and almost removed the Palestinian neighborhood from their very own country. Started 80 years ago, and 80 years later, it is Israel that is coming out as an aggressive force. I want to get the comments from you, Norman. How do you see this? 2 Bangladeshis have been killed in this very strike.
Yes, it's unfortunate. My condolences to the families that have lost their loved ones. But as we see, this conflict, this war, is affecting each and every person on this planet. There will always be someone that is going to be affected by this. Unfortunately, in Bangladesh, we have people that trying to help their families, trying to do best, lost their lives as a result of this ongoing conflict. So the mission appears, again, the mission of Israel is to basically destroy all signs of infrastructure, human infrastructure in that region, and to basically do the same as they have done in Gaza. So these attacks are now escalating. It appears that they have no conscience on what they're doing. Their mission is very focused, and they are still looking towards Iran. Lebanon is the latest victim on this siege, and is causing, because of the way Israel is proceeding with this process, is causing problems, is causing alerts and awareness other places. Turkey has now mentioned about the aggression and possibly interceding, being involved, and most, at least, they do not condone how this movement is moving forward for the region. So Israel is very dangerous right now in regards to the region and what they're doing on a military standard. It appears that no one, including the United States, has any control of exactly what they're doing. There's been conversations I've been reading that the Prime Minister of Israel is talking about how they are going to be severing the ties with the United States, weaning themselves off of the bottle and moving forward. Uh, Even with the ceasefire conversations they're having, the United States is having with Iran, Israel is still hell bent on the nuclear option. Without that, they are not going to um, condone or support that. So, meaning if we have a ceasefire, Israel will still continue to doing what they're doing in Lebanon and the region, and which in this case will include coming over to Iran. So we have a loose, I call a loose cannon in the region that has a mindset of its own, supported, not supported by the United States, other parts of the world. Other countries are now talking about banning Israelis to even come to their area for tourism.
Japan is one of those nations as well, adding on.
Yes, yes, yes. Spain, I think, mentioned it, several other countries. But I see this whole isolation situation increasing, where basically Israel is painting itself into a corner, where basically they are a lone dove, a lone soul working on their own mission, their primary mission, and isolating the rest of the world. This may militarily work for them for a moment, but they are not going to be able to survive on a global sense regarding on the way they're doing things. So I have no idea why or how this thing is going to play out. All we know right now, Israel is doing what they do best. They are destroying empires. They are destroying civilizations, lifestyles, people. They want to basically control the situation. So I do not understand why, why would you burn down the entire forest to get to one location? You have to have some type of partnership, some type of relationship, some type of infrastructure in the area. To destroy is self-defeating, self-destructive. So it appears that we are looking at a situation, we have a process, a system that is moving at a rate that they are going to destroy everything. And unfortunately, their own demise will come with this.
Of course, important summary of events coming from the Middle East, especially in Lebanon, and how two Bengali souls have been claimed as a part of an Israeli strike. I can only imagine the grievances faced by common day Lebanese citizens, given that Hezbollah seems to be a very big part of the community there. And while running of this very program, I'd like to also mention that when we started this program today, the price of the last day financial Brent was at 106.45 US dollars. At this moment, at this very second, that price has increased to $107.05 US dollars per barrel. So this is a very volatile situation as I make of it. I want to ask Dr. Nasser, we were talking about Lebanon. Two victims of Bangladeshi descent have been killed in these strikes. They are hailing from the Satkira region of Bangladesh. And of course, the commission in Beirut has said there shall be attempts at having them repatriated to Bangladesh. It really has effects of global importance. How would you want to see this, that the UN forces in Lebanon are fighting Israel itself, whereas the UN is widely seen as the spokesperson for peacekeeping worldwide?
So that is very unfortunate. This is very unfortunate. We have peacekeepers in Lebanon itself also, and it is a very shocking situation for Bangladesh as well, because you know in recent days there is no visa from the UAE, and many of the other countries already blocked the issuing visa to Bangladeshi workers, which was in practice. Even in Lebanon, once there was, if I am not wrong, there was 1,70,000 Bangladeshi workers legally or illegally had been working there, and there was a significant flow of remittance from the Lebanon, and their hospitality sectors like restaurants, cleaning service, and domestic few of the other activities. These were mostly dominated by the Bangladeshi, both male and female workers. And now, as per the latest information which is available in the net, it is something like 36,000 people are working there, only 36,000, which was 1,70,000 a few years back. So already there was a decrease in the number of expatriates staying there. And out of this 36,000, Bangladesh government had to evacuate 1,000 plus, officially 1,000 plus, due to the war situation, and many of the Bangladeshis at their own has either come back to Bangladesh or shifted to some other country. So on this context, only few of the Bangladeshis who had no other way but to either face the war, take the risk of life, and send some money for his family back home. That's why they have stayed there. Otherwise, this number, as I mentioned, should have been much more. It is only the needy people, only the very needy people, they have stayed there, and few other business community maybe for their business, but they are not in the forefront. They are in the backside. They have shifted from the war zone. But these unfortunate workers, they could not shift anywhere else. They had to stay there for their survival, because in the Middle East, this policy of visa is very strict. You have though your passport is your own property, but you will never get your freedom to keep your passport with you. It is always with the employer. So that's why they cannot go right and left. Wherever they go, they will be treated as illegal migrants, and anytime they may be jailed. So they have to obey the instructions of their employer. So thereby these poor fellows, they had been staying there, and many other thousands are there facing the war. But they have no interest. This country doesn't belong to them. They are our children, they are our brothers and sisters, but they are giving their lives. So this is the right time that we should pray for them, first of all. And Bangladesh, in fact, cannot do anything, because whole world is after that. We cannot do anything, but only the thing that if they should be encouraged that if you want to come back, we'll rehabilitate you. We have various banks, financial institutions in the name of welfare of the expatriates. They have many institutions have been developed in Bangladesh, but there is no data that how much development these particular institutions have done to the expatriates or those who have come back from the different Middle East countries. There is no data. The government should encourage them. If you face it difficult to stay there, come back. We are here to help you out. You will not be starving in the country anymore.
Of course, a very profound knowledge regarding those who are expatriate Bengalis living in foreign lands. I want to change the discussion of the topic. Have a question towards Norman Floyd Barnes. I believe there is some strange notion that is coming up at number 10 Downing Street in the United Kingdom. Over 70 Labour MPs have urged Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, to resign immediately. I want to get a comment from you regarding number 10 Downing Street. The situation in the UK after Labour's losing seats in last week's election. Norman.
Yes, very briefly, the situation is very stressful, getting very tense. The Prime Minister had a speech yesterday with hopes of justifying why he should remain in that position. The question is now, How do the parliament view that? Do they want to keep him? Do they want to move forward? There's already talks on the floor about his replacement. So I would suspect there will be a change regarding number 10 Downing Street.
Of course, thanking Norman Floyd Barnes for his comments regarding this very issue. It's time to go for a commercial break. However, when we come back, we will discuss the scheduling concerns regarding U.S. President's visit to China, especially because the Foreign Minister Wang Yi of China will not be attending the BRICS summit in India due to the meeting between U.S. President from coming in to China, as well as representing Xi Jinping in mainland China as well. With that being said, it's time to take a commercial break. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsulam Panta.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
Opening an open war conflict with them.
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
with President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsulam Panta.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
Opening an open war conflict with them.
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
with President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
Welcoming our viewers back on International Affairs as we head out towards the last segment of this very program. As before the break, I was talking about how Wang Yi won't be able to come to India. Of course, he's the Foreign Minister of China, and he will be busy with the U.S. President's visit. And the ambassador in India shall be representing the Foreign Minister in the BRICS summit. Coming to Dr. Nasser, it's important to see our relationship with the nation of India as well. As I just mentioned, they'll be hosting the Global South Summit, the BRICS Summit. And of course, the foreign advisor here, Mr. Humayun Kabir, he's also a member of the Bangladesh National Party. He had stated some of the comments in the last couple of days. He had said that we will be the referee between India and Chinese relationships and, of course, confrontations if there are any. And of course, West Bengal had their cabinet meeting of the first of its kind yesterday, in which it said in 45 days they will be building their fencing on the border with Bangladesh. This is to curb any kind of illegal immigration that may happen. I want to get your comment because just in the last couple of days we have seen a killing of a Bangladeshi national over this border dispute. Of course, our border guard Bangladesh has received the body of the deceased. So I want to ask you, given that you have military doctrine, knowledge of the military as well, how do you see these latest developments, especially because we see a reciprocal trade agreement put into place just 3 days before the last election?
So here two aspects. First, if you talk about the regional activities pertaining to India and Bangladesh, it is very unfortunate that when the very first move of the West Bengal new cabinet, they have taken the decision of handing over land for erection of the fenceway, and it's unfortunate. The way our foreign minister, I was shocked by hearing his very statement that we are not afraid of India. Why you should be afraid of India? Why we need to say we are afraid or we are not afraid? We are not going to going for a war against India. You see, the war is not the solution. Had the war been the solution, America could have owned over Iran much more before.
80 days ago,
the third consecutive month should not have been taken. Russia could take over Ukraine at any time. So this era is not the era of war or weaponry or getting afraid, not getting afraid. It is the diplomacy. It is your connection. It is your build up of your own strength to withstand the international pressure. I repeat, building your own strength to withstand the international pressure, world scenario pressure. So thereby the maturity remains. This particular fencing, where you will find? You will find in Israel. You will find in Mexican border. India shares border with so many countries. How many fences they have developed in Azad Kashmir? How many fences they have over the Chinese border or even in Myanmar border? So why within Bangladesh? So what they are trying to depict is that for Bangladeshis, India is a very attractive place, which is really not. The culture of the border, a group of border people is very common that they go on the other side of the border in the morning, at the day end they come back. Even the Indians also do the same thing, because I personally served in the army. I was in the border area for some time. Border is so exposed. Nowadays fencing is done, but before that there was no fencing like that, and there are instances in favor of the villages in the bordering area that your kitchen is on the other side of the border, but your
there are some places in Bangladesh such as that.
The same pond, one side is India, one side is in Bangladesh. That is the scenario. There is a small canal, on the other side it is India, this side is Bangladesh. There are so many border huts are also there. So altogether, the friendship means a lot, because if your neighbor is not in a comfortable situation, you cannot say I am comfortable. You may be staying in a very glass fenced, very air conditioned room, but if you can see somebody is not getting food on the other side of the glass, and somebody is searching food, dying without medicine, that doesn't give you comfortable, because your neighbor you can see he is not in a comfortable position. So that makes the sense. India should now understand that this is a very unprofessional way of dealing with the neighbor. This is not the way they should deal. And if you talk about the second part, that is the dominance of China and USA, yes, the agreement signed just 3 days before the election by the interim government, that is being criticized nowadays under tremendous pressure. There had been a lot of demand that it should be made public, it should come to the parliament, because as per the constitution, whatever agreement you make, that should be discussed in the parliament, whether before or after. If it is there is any non-disclosure agreement, you skip it.
Right.
Definitely. But why a country like us should make some agreement with USA which cannot be exposed. Is it only because of the defensive one? Then okay, skip the defense part. If it is a commercial part, we have all the rights that what my government is going to do with the other countries. Say for I give a simple example, if it is import of poultry or import of fish,
right.
My fisherman must know, my poor farmers must know whether he should go for further extension of his poultry industry in the future or not, whether he should go for fishery cultivation or not. But I do not know anything. Suddenly I find tomorrow lots of cows coming before the this Eid al-Azha. I do not know anything. Suddenly it will be coming. So what should be my condition? That's why as a citizen of the country, I must know what is the commercial steps are being taken by the government, or what agreement is there in the paper which may be imposed at any time. That is nothing to hide and seek. So unfortunately that practice did not come in our country, in our culture. So I think this is the time we should now shout that please, whatever has happened, but in future let us do something. And this visit of the US President in China in other way, it is significant to us also, because this particular agreement is aimed as curtailing the dominance of China over not only in Bangladesh, India, Indian subcontinent. And I am quite optimistic, or quite sure that one of the topics of discussion between the two presidents of the USA and China will be the Taiwan issue.
Right.
And if it is a Taiwan issue, definitely the regional peace, that is the Indian Ocean as a symbol of peace, should come up. And if it is an issue of Indian Ocean, definitely the interest of Bangladesh comes up.
Right. Thanking Dr. Nasir for an excellent statement regarding the friendship and of two neighbors, India and Bangladesh, as well as how China and the US are going to see various economic changes here in this region. I also want to add on as an example, in 1965, the UMNO Party of Malaysia removed Singapore as an island, as a nation that belonged to them. However, today in the modern day Singapore, they rely on the water sources for Malaysia. And this signifies how two nations can even be friends by having two different names. And certainly should be built when we think about Bangladesh and our immediate neighbor, India. With that being said, I want to thank Dr. Nasir for having immense contribution on this very program, alongside Norman Floyd Barnes for joining us on a daily basis for providing the perspectives of Washington, D.C. Another fact before I end the program, today is the anniversary of Florence Nightingale's birth. It is to honor nurses and their contributions in global healthcare. Also signifies International Nurses Day. With that being said, I want to sign off on International Affairs.